All right, start off. Cheers. Cheers. So I hate going first, and I purposely put myself sixth, and then earlier I heard him say, I'm gonna fuck around with the order. And I was like, oh God, I hope that's a joke. First up, Chico Amerikan. Yeah. All right, fuck you too. All right. Okay, so very new to comedy. I've been doing it for years, but you probably have to go on stage more time than years have passed, and I stayed away from comedy for a while because last couple times I got booed twice in New York City and dead silence in New York. No, in Atlanta. So you already know as a comedian, that's awful, all right? Then my buddy Rocky found this place, and he was like, hey, dude, you should get up on stage. And I was like, dude, here's the thing. I'm an OSHA 500 instructor. I'm kind of used to having adults stuck with me for hours. So I've got plenty of runway to set up a joke. And that just doesn't work in comedy. It just takes too long to set up a joke, kind of like now. And I told him I'd get my timing down, and I would research my jokes, and I think we all know what I was doing. I was being a pussy. I am what I eat, you know, so. That is a bushy Star Wars puss joke. May the 4th is around the corner, so. All right, so, okay, rapid fire funny. So I'm gonna go with even more Mexican jokes, all right? Some of these you're gonna know, don't worry. I'm working up to something like the good goddamn Mexican that I am, working hard. So how many Mexicans can you fit back of a truck?
7.
One more, always one more, okay? Did you hear? Yeah, white people, always, okay. Did you hear about the 3-car pileup down in Mexico City? Yeah, half the population went with it. All right, why are there no Mexicans in the Olympic team?
Because all the ones who can run, jump, and swim are already here.
My dude! All the ones who can run, jump, and swim are already over here. Why are there no Mexicans in the American NFL? Juan Carlos Hernandez Rivera Augusto Hinojosa Salomon does not fit in the back of the jersey. 3 of those names were my actual name before my family. Like, I am also an immigrant who came here very young and have no accent. I don't speak like this. So, bow to you, sir. All right, so speaking of sports, we found ourselves at the Rush game, the final Rush game a while back, and I have this thing, I like to target the largest dude of the opposing team and just fuck with them. And it was this guy named Jet, J-E-T-T-E. And I must have taken every disrespectful creative liberty with his name. I was like, you missed Jet, watch out, GTT is back on. I even came up with a Jetarama Yo Mama. It didn't really quite slap. That's a hockey joke. And I mistakenly thought the dude was Canadian, so I was like, Luete, Jemapella, Jette. And this girl behind me, she was just like, wow, you really seem to hate him. What did he do to you? Nothing. I'm not even a sports guy. I'm just an asshole Marine veteran who just loves going to a sports game, finding the biggest dude in the opposing team, and fucking with them until they come over and fight me. Because to me, that's fun. Did you hear that? Jacks off the tats. The Mexican wants you to come over the wall. And that is exactly what happened. We are front row in the glass, and I hear all the white people behind me, you know, they love Mexican jokes that they can't make or don't want to make in public or are being recorded. So, and it's guaranteed after every period, a token white's gonna come up and be like, hey, bud, that Mexican wall joke thing was really funny. You think you can do that there, Mexican war cry? Sure thing, Hilly Bob Puck. I'll do it just for you. I'm full of cheese and queso and beer. So as soon as the Rush scored, I go. And then we hear the white people behind us who have been drinking attempt to replicate the Mexican war cry. And fail. Raka, ki, ha ha, he. I didn't realize that even that white people could be off key and off cue, right? And I didn't know if you saw that TikTok video. It's like 7 white women that looks like a bachelorette party, and they put on a song, and then they attempt to dance the most atrocious, non-existent beat ever. And all the races, we all united in a way that those women couldn't in the video, and roasted them. And then all our white friends went back to live in their glorious whiteness, right? I had a manager who was like, you know, if I made that joke in reverse, I'm gonna lose my job. And I was like, you know, if my legal ass gets pulled over, I might be illegally deported. What I'm saying is, one of us has proof of citizenship on him at all times, and one of us will never be mistaken as a legal immigrant. All I'm saying is we all have privilege. Everybody has their do's or don'ts, their can and can'ts, right? Pretty privilege is a real one, right? So my ex is fine as hell, OnlyFans model, right? And I was practicing with this, with her on FaceTime, and pretty people, they're accustomed to getting away with murder and living by these, and judging themselves by these non-existent rules. So out of no, I'm like, hey, how am I doing? And she goes, what are you gonna wear? And I'm like, well, why? She goes, and she's trying to make a joke, because if you look good, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna do good. And in that moment, I made the executive decision to wear exactly what I was wearing at the moment that she asked me that question. And dressed like the Mexican Lebowski. How much time do I have? Do I have time for one more story off script?
I'll give you one more.
All right. So this came about because I started traveling for a living. And a lot of the guys here, who here has tried to hook up the fine-ass women that work at the airport, right? I have dressed in fancy clothing, in suits, hell, even fucking uniform, nothing. Then I started traveling for a living, and I'm not gonna dress up. I buy coach seats. I'm not gonna pay for first class because I'm broke. And but the sheer amount of flying that I have, I get upgraded all the time. So this is sitting in first class, and I started getting women coming up to me like, "Can I get a photo with you?" Mind you, I'm sitting in first class like. What? So, last thing, you asked me, where does Chico Amerikan come from? I am an immigrant. Every Mexican calls himself Chico, so I wanted to describe what kind of Chico I am. I'm the most white American Mexican you've ever met in your life. I disrespect my own country. I am an immigrant, so I do see America from an outside point of view, so that's why I put the K, not the triple K, just one. And I am not the smartest being on the planet, so I call it my special K. I